Hey viewers, my name's Cara. I just have a quick tarot related video for you that just came up as I was doing a reading for someone this morning, and I realized maybe this is a thing that people would like to hear about. I don't know if everyone does things this way. It might just be an interesting thing to talk about. So what I'm about to talk about is just a way that I lay out my cards in some of my readings. This does not apply to really complex readings with really high numbers of cards. This only applies to small amounts of cards in a spread. So I'm going to just tilt my screen down here to show you. So it's going to be a really weird angle, but I'm using my miniature cards to make sure that there is enough room for you to see 5 of them across. So let's just go down here. And hopefully the sound is not horrible as a result. So I have here my miniature tarot cards. Doesn't matter what the cards are, doesn't matter what the deck is, because this is just for demonstration purposes. So we're not even going to flip these over, I'm just showing you how I lay things out. So this morning I did a 5-card spread for someone. And when I number them, when you number the cards in kind of like the key of how the reading is laid out, we tend to number them 1 through 5 from left to right. And that would imply that we should be laying them down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you can do that. You can definitely do that. And I definitely do that sometimes. However, when I am choosing my cards and when I am laying out my cards, I do a couple of different things. So the first thing, when you're drawing your cards, if I'm reading for myself, sometimes I will actually lay out the entire deck, run my hands over them, and choose based on the one that feels like it has the energy of the next card I need in my stack, and then I stack them up. Or I will shuffle and cut the deck in a certain pattern, a certain number of times until I feel the energy kind of click, that it's done, it's ready, and then I draw from the top. So those are 2 different ways that I do that. But then when I lay out the cards, I might lay them out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or, as what happened today, sometimes I shuffle and cut my deck in my number of times that I need to do it, and I draw from the top. So I'm ready to draw from the top of my stack that I've pulled, and I go to lay it down, and this feels wrong. And it's not that I've shuffled incorrectly, but I'll go like this, and it'll tell me, okay, I'm the 3rd card. So I put it that this is the card that represents the present in my extended past, present, future spread. This is distant past, near past, present, near future, distant future, recent past, or near past, whatever you want to call it. And then the next one, you just kind of have to feel and see where it wants to go. And so I actually am paying attention to the energy of the cards as I'm laying them out also. So they might get laid out in a different order, but then you still read them the same way. This is still the distant past, this is still the recent or near past. The center card is still the present, near future, and distant future. So you still read them left to right, card 1 through 5, but I don't always lay them out in that order. And so I just thought that might be an interesting thing to share with you, because I don't know if other people do that. It's not something that I was ever necessarily taught. It's just something that follows from, as I'm shuffling and cutting the deck, I'm feeling for the energy to tell me when it's ready, right? And so sometimes if I'm doing a 5-card spread or a 3-card spread, or sometimes a 7-card spread, because I've done that basic extended with 7 cards, so you're just going a little bit more in depth in either direction. Sometimes with those spreads, I will go to lay something out and it'll say, no, I'm actually this other card, or whatever. So that happened today. Thought it might be interesting just to point out to you. Let me know if any of you use that as you are laying out your cards in small spreads. And the reason I say that is that I don't use that functionality in larger spreads. In larger spreads, I pretty much always, I've never felt that as I go to lay one down that it's wrong when I have pulled a large number of cards, because I already know what the spread is as I'm cutting the deck, as I'm shuffling the deck, and as I'm drawing the cards. I already know what the spread is, so I'm specifically looking for the card that is going to fill each of those spots. And it's not that I don't do that in the smaller spreads. I just find that maybe because they're smaller numbers, they have to represent so much more in a way that I've found that occasionally they want to be laid out in a different pattern. And actually, most often with the 5-card spread, even though it's numbered left to right 1 through 5, I end up wanting to lay it down as card 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. So, like this is most often how it wants to be laid down, is the center card first, near future, near past, distant future, distant past. 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. And then you still read them left to right. So that is most often the alternate way that it wants to be laid out. The one that I just did for you was an example. These were not pulled with any specific intent. These were not pulled for a specific reading or for any specific person. Totally for demonstration purposes. So I was just laying them out. But when I'm actually doing a reading, it's most often that way that I just showed you. So I thought that would just be a little interesting thing to add for the tarot and oracle readers who follow my channel. And I will see you guys next time. All the links to my social media are below if you want to sponsor these videos that I make for free on YouTube. On Patreon, it is patreon.com/cutewitch772. The link is also in the description there, and you can read all about it on that site. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.